Good afternoon, everybody. Me, Mitch, in the kitchen again. Today I'm going to make something I have about once a month. I really love it. Good for me, healthy, plenty of omega-3 fats. What I'm talking about is my salmon cakes deep fried in bacon grease. For these things I use this wild-caught Alaskan canned pink salmon. This is almost just shy of a pound, which makes 4 nice-sized patties, which is more than a meal, plenty of a meal for anybody. I buy these from Amazon, and they come in cartons of 12 cans. And right now, I just noticed that they're on sale for 66 bucks. For 12 cans. That's about $5 a can. That's a cheap meal. You throw in 1 egg and some pork rind crumbs. It's fabulous. At any rate, there'll be a link in the description of this video, and you can find the links to all this different stuff I use, the pork rind crumbs, the fish, the thermometers, all the tools, the frying pans, anything. If you want to do it like I do, go to oldguycarnivore.com on the links to stuff I use page, including this bacon grease holder. I tell you about this stuff because my videos are sponsored by, me. They're sponsored by me with my Amazon links. So that's about all the commercials you're ever going to get here. I'm going to turn on my stove. I'm going to put a fairly decent amount of bacon grease that I collect from my breakfasts of bacon and eggs in this pan. I think that ought to do it. And I think that by the time we get done mixing up our salmon cakes, hopefully that will be up to temperature. So all you really need for this is you need a little mixing bowl. You need 1 egg. And I want to start by cracking the egg into the bottom of the mixing bowl because I want to beat it up first. That was delicate. I may not be the smoothest cook, but I get the job done. So we'll beat up the egg. And next to this concoction, and I think that's all we need the fork for, we will can opener. Something I don't use very often. In fact, I think this may be the only time I ever use a can opener. Now, so I'm going to open the can, and there's going to be a lot of juice in the can, and there's a lot of nutrients in the juice. So while it may appear that this initial mixture might be a little watery because of all of that stuff, what I've usually been doing is just putting it all in, and the bacon, the pork rind crumbs kind of soak it up. And before we throw this can in the trash can, I think maybe I'll put it in a plastic bag. We're going to put a healthy amount of pork rind crumbs. Usually ends up being about 1/2 cup. So we'll throw 3 big tablespoons, which is about 1/2 cup, into the mix. Now there's enough salt in the crumbs where you don't need to put any seasoning in this at all. And that's all there is to it, is just the salmon. And of course it's canned salmon. It's got these little soft bones in them, which are nutritious good to eat. Everything in here is good to eat, and you don't need to worry about even knowing that you're eating those bones. So everything in this can of tuna is wild caught, natural, and contains every part of the nutrition that's available in that fish. So I think that as far as being a healthy meal goes, I don't think you can top this. That's why I like to have fish at least once a week. And I rotate this in about once a month as my fish deal. And now I'm just taking the spoon and smashing this up. And it has a thick enough consistency to make a patty out of. And then I'm just going to fry it. Not going to worry about overcooking it. I'm not going to worry about it. It's just going to make sure it is fried till it gets really brown on the outside. They always stay juicy and tender on the inside, and I'm going to be going for that crunch, that little crunch on the outside. Even though I'm not coating this in the pork rind crumbs, it still has a fair amount of them in the mix. And the egg kind of holds it all together. I tried it once with 2 eggs. I think that was too much egg for 1 can. If you're going to make 2 cans of it, I'd put just double everything. But that's it. That's all there is to making this. It's the simplest thing in the world. As you saw, it takes just a couple minutes to actually mix it up. I did get, sometimes I used to use some gloves and stick my fingers in there and squish it. I think I'm just going to use my bare hands to actually fashion the patties, because that'd be certainly easy enough just to rinse off without worrying about having to use the gloves. And our grease is all melted. And let's see how we're doing. We are at 320 degrees. I want it to be 350 to 375. So we'll give it another minute or so for the grease to heat up. And if you think you'd like it, it's the first time I've ever seen this stuff on sale at Amazon. They sent me a notice. They send me notices anytime anything that people regularly buy from my site has a limited time sale or a sale of any kind. I get a notice from Amazon. That's when I post those things in my community tab to let you know that they are on sale. Some of you ignore those things. Fine, that's fine. But there are some people that thank me profusely for letting them know, because I've saved them money. So in my mind, saving people money and having them being grateful for it is worth the fact that some people ignore these things. It's up to you. It's up to you. Okay, this is 350 degrees right now, so I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. Of course, whenever you put food into the hot grease, it cools it down. So I'm going to take I want to get about a quarter of the fish in each one of these, what look like meatballs. They hold together, but they're pretty flimsy, but they'll firm up as you fry them. And I'm going to flatten them out a little bit. And this is where you have to be careful that you don't burn yourself, and put them down in the oil. And if you make 3 big ones, that's fine too. If you make 3 big ones and 2 small ones, and then we'll use the spatula when I'm done and get them in there. We'll use the spatula to squish them down a little bit. Well, it appears that I've got enough fish here for one more little bigger one, which is fine. It doesn't matter whether I've got 3 or 4. I'm going to eat all of them anyway. So we'll clean all of this goodness out of this bowl here. And we'll squish this down a little. We'll put it, whoops. Well, it looks like we're going to have 4 of them anyway. Really doesn't matter. Okay, and I'm going to squish them down a little bit, flatten them out. A couple of odd-shaped ones, half-moon shaped. And we're just going to let them cook. We're going to let them cook. And keep an eye on the temperature. Yeah, it cooled it down to about 300, so we'll let it come back up, but we don't want it to get too hot. I also can use this thermometer here to check the internal temperature of these things while they're cooking. And they are getting hot. So they're cooking very well. You need a fork or something to flip them.
A few moments later.
To kind of guide you. So we'll take the first one here and flip it over. Oh yeah, look at that. That is perfectly done. Perfect. Wow, wow, wow. Yes, sir. Oh man, look at that. Look at that. That is perfect. Okay. So we'll leave them. I think that was probably about 5 minutes on that side. I got all my dishes washed. So I'm pretty much all cleaned up, except for the plate I'm going to eat it off of and the fork that I'm going to use to eat it with. So that was exactly adhering to my philosophy of carnivore cooking, and that is, it has to be delicious, it has to be healthy, it has to be easy to make and prepare, and it has to have little to no cleanup whatsoever involved. And especially for a guy like me, that is kind of the great combination of why this is the most easily sustainable way to eat that ever lived, considering the fact that it has cured my addictions, taken them away, and I'm not bothered by cravings or hunger anymore. And the amount of effort and time necessary to shop for, prepare, and cook a couple meals a day for me is hardly worth even thinking about. That's why I don't think there's going to be any doubt or any problem that I sustain this carnivore lifestyle for the rest of my life. Especially if I continue, which I have no reason to believe that I won't, reaping the benefits from this. I use these little strainers because I don't have a garbage disposal in my sink. That keeps me from clogging up my drains with stuff like that. I also, as you saw that Ziploc bag, I put all my garbage and smelly stuff in those Ziploc bags and just put them in a trash can where they don't smell or anything like that. We'll get us a plate. We'll check the temperature of these, and it should be pretty hot. 177 degrees, 200 degrees, 200 degrees, 190 degrees. They are completely cooked. And again, the only concern that I had was, are they brown enough? And I will leave them for about 1 more minute on the bottom side, and they will be ready to eat. I hope I hope that this was informative for you. I hope you learned a little bit, and I did put out a video about these things quite a while ago. I think it's been lost in obscurity, so I thought I'd do it again, especially for all the newer people, the newer subscribers who've never seen me do this before. I've learned it never hurts to repeat things on YouTube, because from time to time, you're talking to a whole new class, essentially. All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to take these things out, let them drip just a little bit. They will not be greasy in the slightest. This is a lot of food. I'm telling you, this, you eat all of this one can, whole can. This will fill you up. This may actually be enough food for 2 people. I may or may not finish all of it. It's great cold leftover, so it might make a nice addition to whatever I eat tomorrow as a side dish, not a snack, but a side dish. So there you have it. There you have my salmon cakes. You can go to my website at oldguycarnivore.com. On there, I've got a page that says links to stuff I use every day. These links take you to Amazon affiliate links of mine, and when you buy something through these links, it helps support the channel. Here is everything I use, every kitchen tool, gadget, and everything else. If you think, and there's no obligation, but if you think you might want to get some of the stuff that I use in my videos and do this yourself, whether it be food, supplements, kitchen appliances, tools, gadgets, frying pans, whatever, I would really appreciate it. oldguycarnivore.com. Links to stuff I use page. Doesn't cost you a dime more, and you're really helping me continue to do what I do. Thanks so much, and let's get back to it now. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. These are the salmon cakes. Family portrait. So let's see. Oh, they're nice and crunchy. They are thoroughly cooked. I try to transmit joy into the camera at how good these things taste. They're wonderful. I love them, and I'm going to continue to have them. Now, when I found out that salmon was on sale, ordered myself a case of it. $5 a can is cheap for this. $5 for this meal. About what you pay for a foo-foo coffee at Starbucks. Enjoy. Hope you like it. If you do, if you make them and you love them, let me know in the comments. I appreciate it. I love hearing about that. And with that, I'm going to go enjoy my salmon cakes, and you take the rest of the day off and eat meat and salmon cakes.